long before the MCU was even constructed and made, there was a time when movie studios like 20th Century Fox would do attempts to do the Marvel characters like the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, etc. In 2005, Fox struck gold with Fantastic Four, which introduced Marvel's first family on the big screen. And it was a pretty big success. And seeing this huge success, Marvel decided to go bigger for a cosmic level. And what should have been a pretty great Marvel movie that was released at that time turned to something questionable that even fans like myself today were wondering, what was Fox even thinking at that time? What's up, guys? My name is Nate, and on this 24th episode of the Road to Avengers Doomsday, we're taking a look at Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, a movie that brought Marvel's iconic villains in like the screen, especially the cosmic one, but it did not quite reach the landing as we hoped. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show as I take you deep down this forgotten Fantastic Four sequel and how it didn't do well for fans like myself. So, following the Fantastic Four's massive success, Fox knew they needed to do better. So that's why they decided to bring back the entire cast themselves. And the team was already established. Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm. And the sequel didn't need to introduce them. Instead, the film focused on expanding their world and raising the stakes at high levels. And I'll get to that in a second. Aaron Gruffin returned as Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, bringing his scientific knowledge and great chemistry in the movie. Jessica Alba returns as Susan Storm, aka the Invisible Woman, who continues to be like one of the great anchors in the movie, especially how like Jessica Alba does pretty great acting in this entire film. Chris Evans returned as Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch, bringing down a new side of him and how he tries to act serious in some crazy situations. And lastly, Michael Chillikins as Ben Grimm, aka The Thing. He returns as the heart of the movie as he just gets pretty good screen time and there's some questionable things that happen. And we're about to get to like that in a sec. So, since this movie is called Rise of the Silver Surfer, they decided to introduce him in the movie. So in case you guys don't know, the Silver Surfer is a guy made of metal. He's on a surfboard and he's pretty powerful. He's like a cosmic person, and to play the surfer, they hired a pretty great actor to play him. That guy is Doug Jones. He's best known for being in many of Guillermo del Toro films, especially Pan's Labyrinth, the Hellboy films, and a bunch of others. I like his acting performance in the movie, and it just shows how he was willing to commit to the role of Silver Surfer at the time. Even if some people didn't realize that was him underneath that makeup and prosthetics. Anywho, the character doesn't speak that much. He doesn't explain who he is. He just appears and chaos follows. Visually, I find the Silver Surfer one of those impressive parts of the movie. The design, the movement, and his presence felt truly otherworldly. For many fans, he was the true highlight of the movie. So, the story revolves the Surfer's arrival and the realization that he is not the true threat. He is a herd, a messenger far from worse. And that something is coming. And that's Galactus. So Galactus is a cosmic entity that consumes planets. And he is a really scary Marvel villain. I mean, he's actually pretty popular. Like, I was shocked when I saw, but I was like, dang, they're gonna put Galactus. Now this will be pretty good. But as I explain later, it does not go pre-planned. So with Galactus coming on, this raises the stakes to a level we haven't seen in Marvel films at that time. Earth itself is in complete danger. The film also decides to bring back Doctor Doom himself, returning actor Julian McHannon. Rest in peace to him. he does a great performance. Where things get pretty mixed up. Doom eventually teams with the heroes at first, but then he returns to being the bad guy. It's like someone has an Uno reverse card, just does that in the last second. Again, literally. While he has some good moments, his role feels more like secondary than compared to the cosmic danger. And for a character as iconic as Doctor Doom, that's pretty disappointed. Especially for me, since Doctor Doom is an iconic Marvel villain to the Fantastic Four. And Fox just really screwed up, mostly, for the sequel. So one of the things the movie leads on is its lighter comedic tone. There are more jokes, more playful moments, especially with Johnny Storm. And while that does work, it clashes with the massive role that he takes in the story. You've got a planet-eating entity coming down at your doorstep, and then a joke afterwards. That total embodiment makes it hard to invest in danger. And to put in the credit, this film has really great visual effects. The chase scenes with the Silver Surfer are pretty fast and visually exciting. Johnny Storm's power switching adds to moment for something new, and the final confrontation has some ideas. But the problem is, it feels so rushed. Like the movie's speeding towards the end without fully building on the impact. And that's really disappointing for me. Now we gotta talk about the biggest problem. Galactus. In the comics, Galactus is this massive armored cosmic being. In this movie, he's a cloud. Like, I am not kidding. They literally have a giant cloud literally at Earth. And I was like, what is this? It's just like annoying, like how I felt of this movie. Like, why, Fox? What were you thinking when you had that? And for many fans, including myself, this was a huge letdown. Instead of having a physical, intimidating appearance, we get something abstract and distant. And it took away the tone of an unforgettable villain. And I was really disappointed when I saw that. So, when Fantastic Four Rise of Silver Surfer was released in 2007, reactions were very mixed. Some praised the Silver Surfer, others criticized the tone, pacing, and the portrayal of Galactus. And ultimately, this would end up canceling a planned sequel we would not see the Fantastic Four again for another several years until in 2015 with Fantastic. I'll talk about that video another day. But for now, let's wrap this up. While this movie was bad, it showed that cosmic storytelling could work. The visual effects were evolving, but the execution just as mattered as ambition. Lessons that the MCU would later learn entirely from its cosmic stories. And in conclusion, this Fantastic Four Rise of Silver Surfer aimed for the stars. And it almost got there, but it did not make it. It struggled with its story and tone and balance, and would just end up being a huge fail for Fox. Still, on the road to Avengers Doomsday, it's a step towards something bigger, because even when Marvel missed, they are always learning how to eventually hit it. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you go like, subscribe, and let me know down in the comments below. Did the Silver Surfer deserve a movie? Or do you think you would rather see a third Fantastic Four movie of like this 2000 stuff? But let me know down in the comments. What do you think? And I'll see you guys in the next part. Hope you have a good day. And I'll see you next time. Bye.